Hey guys, and welcome to today's video where I'm giving you an update on my fire skink. At this point, this marks 3 weeks owning my fire skink, who, by the way, does have a name now. I think I'm going to keep with Bernie, because he's a fire skink, so he's Bernie. That's terrible, but yeah, I have Rex and Bruce and Bernie, and it just kind of goes. And someone in the comment section when I first got him said he kind of looks like a boy. Obviously, it doesn't really bother me too much. Bernie can technically be a girl's name too, but that's kind of what I'm going with. Now, a lot of people in the comment section did say that they've been thinking of getting a fire skink, so they'd love to see his progress. And actually, I think a video like this would have kind of helped me doing research, because obviously you can see a care video from someone who's had one for years, but the initial few days, weeks, even months of getting to know this little skink and taming them, or at least getting them used to you, can be an interesting journey, and one that requires a lot of patience. And I actually think, despite everything I read about the fire skinks, that they are very elusive, they hide a lot, they don't come out very much, they don't really like handling, I think to me it was sort of a challenge in a good way of my patience and being respectful to the animal. I know with both Rex, my pink tongue skink, and Bruce, my blue tongue, I really tried to stay away from forcing them out of the tank or anything, and over time just building that respect and that trust, and them coming out on their own accord. And some days they don't want to come out, that's absolutely fine. Some days they really do, and that's fine as well. And I think in a way I've matured as a keeper, because when I was younger it was so important to have a reptile like a leopard gecko that tolerates handling really well, will frequently come out in the evening and be fine with it. Whereas now I'm older, I think I can just step back and be like, you know what? If your life is spent under this dirt, but you want to come out every now and again and eat, and don't want to be bothered, that's absolutely fine by me. As long as I can give you a nice home, it's all good. So, even then, even going into this, acknowledging that this is what fire skinks are going to be like, it has been a little bit tough. However, if you're getting a fire skink, one thing I would recommend over everything for your own sanity is get a little spy camera. Maybe it's one that you install inside the tank. Maybe like me, you've just got a little one that you can put outside the tank, because I've got lots of footage to share with you guys. So as much as right now it's just dirt, that's all we can see, a lot goes on when the lights go down. And actually, that's one thing that happened in week 1. So first of all, I thought nothing's happening. I'm putting food in. I knew fire skinks were very food motivated, and I knew being a new reptile in a new environment, he probably is going to hide quite a bit. However, I was hoping that maybe I'd get a glimpse of him when he heard that the food was coming, but I didn't see anything. And then I obviously set up the spy cam and realised he was coming out, but he was waiting maybe half an hour after I'd been near the tank to come out. But he was eating, he was moving around, he was exploring, which was fantastic to see. Now, the place I got him from, they said he'd been eating crickets and locusts. So that's what I started off with, although I'd find a lot of crickets and locusts left over. So I also tried mealworms and calciworms, because speaking to other keepers, you may know Jessica's animal friends, she has Roku. Roku likes worms, and I thought, let's try that. And actually we got an even better response, and this way, even if the mealworms burrow in the dirt, he will find them. But it meant there was one place where he could come and find food. And yeah, I got a lot of footage of him, which was great to see. I do wonder if he was eating all the crickets and locusts in the shop, or he's now eating quite a bit, because if you remember from when I first got him, he was only 31 grams. He looked healthy, don't get me wrong, he didn't look skinny or anything, he was just kind of small for his age, but hopefully he grows, and hopefully at some point I'll be able to weigh him. Anyway, the first week allowed me to establish sort of a routine for him, what sort of time he tends to come out, and he tends to come out when the sun is setting in the tank. So I use a luminized lamp so they kind of set in the little sunset. So it's anywhere between really 5:30 and 8:30. That is his peak time to come out. He doesn't come out in the morning, from what I can tell, unless he's over basking and my camera doesn't catch it. But the evening time is when he comes out and he eats. So that first week I understood this is his schedule. Now, week 2, I kind of thought maybe if I creep near the room on my hands and knees, I could get a glimpse of him. You know, whilst he's out. Don't disturb him, don't open the tank, don't even go in the reptile room. Just wait from the hallway and kind of catch a glimpse of him. But my goodness, this skink is so smart and so in tune with every little sound that at one point I was creeping on my hands and knees and he kind of pauses, stays still, and then suddenly leaves. So very aware of his surroundings. However, one evening of this second week, I went in the reptile room and I opened his door just to like put in some fresh water, and the lights had been off, and then I realised he was on the background. You know, the rocky background. Now, what I should have done is been like, acknowledge, oh, there he is, shut the door, walk away. Then he knows if the door opens and I come up to the tank, I'm not always going to go try to handle him. Or I could have tried to tongue feed him. What did I do? I let I released my patience, didn't I? I decided, why don't I just try to handle him? This might be my only chance. And he waited till I got super close and then jumped down into the dirt. And I've been kicking myself ever since because I shouldn't have done that. I should have just let him know that if I come to the tank, that doesn't always mean I'm going to handle him. Silly me. Definitely silly me. However, that hasn't really put him off. What has happened is, because I know his schedule, I'll check on the camera that he's out. Maybe he's got a couple mealworms in there. So I've seen he's come out, he's eaten a little bit. Then I'll come in, I'll put a bit more food in. So then he associates the doors opening with more food arrives. And I shut it, I leave it, and I just observe from the camera. Now, this does mean that I don't necessarily see him in person. There's been a couple times where I've caught a glimpse of him. One time he did keep his head out for a little bit when he saw me and then reversed back. But that's fine, you know, it's going to take time. And talking to other keepers, like some people will say by the 4th week or the 6th week, then they start to realise actually you're the bringer of food and they will wait out for you. Some people say, you know, it could take 6 months. And that's what this journey is all about. Being patient, respecting the animal, and allowing how much time it takes for him to feel comfortable. And that's another thing. I have resisted the urge to turn over the dirt, to dig him out or anything like that. You know, I know some people will do it and that's fine, like if you want to do that, fine. But for me, I want him to know the soil is his safe place. All of these hides I've got in here, completely safe. If he feels stressed, he can hide. I will only handle him when he's ready. I will say, if you are looking to get a fire skink, just go into it with lots of patience and a spy camera and just enjoy observing them from a distance and just take as long as it takes. Obviously on the first day when I brought him back, he had been in the sort of bag that they put him in, which I think they put snakes in as well, for an hour and a half of the journey he had to take to get to my house. He lived in the shop for about a year, I think, and I can't imagine he got handled a lot. So having to travel, new environment, new smells, everything's happening, it's very expected that he would be skittish and fast, and also just their whole body shape and their nature and what they do is they move quickly and efficiently through soil. So of course he's going to be a fast animal. And I did get a comment because I put together a highlight of that video of all the moments that he was going absolutely crazy. And I did get a comment that said, some species are not meant to be kept in captivity. What's the point to say you've collected it like some rare stamp? Peak selfish. And I think they liked their own comment. But actually anyone who's owned a reptile, brought a reptile home, knows initially they're going to be extremely skittish. And over time, if you provide them with the correct environment, you give them the space they need to relax and become confident in their environment, they will thrive. So I have no doubt that he will kind of tame down and chill out, but obviously his nature as well is to be kind of speedy. So it's to be expected from the species. He's certainly not a rare stamp that I collected. He is family. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this update. If you do have any questions or any tips about fire skinks, let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye.